welcome. Okay, welcome everybody. So this sword that you saw me working on, I started 2 years ago. Bit off way more than I could chew on it at that time, and it's just been sitting over in the corner basically since then. So I've been meaning to redo it. Here we go. I'm also going to work on prepping out a couple pieces of steel like this for hammers, big ones. So yeah, actually I have to go put this one in. All right, go right back over the power hammer. All right, for everybody just coming in that hasn't been on my lives before, welcome. My name's Brock. I'm the owner and bladesmith of Woodson Knife Co. Right now, like you saw, I'm working on a sword. Working on prepping out some material that will be hammers later. And I'm going to make a chef's knife, integral bolster chef's knife today. At least that's all the plan. We'll see. Hopefully things don't go sideways. All right, hey, if you guys don't already follow me, hit that follow button. Also, I see I only have one like. Come on, you guys have to be enjoying this at least a little bit. I introduce you guys to Mishka. Anytime I get on live and I start talking, she wants attention. So this is Mishka. She's my service dog. So she goes everywhere with me. Good girl. And if you guys have any questions at all, put them in the comments. I will answer. Thank you. Alright, I think I'm going to flip it around and start working on this end. So the bevels are way too thick. So we're going to fix that. Hey, Scuba Steve, yeah, I did. Yep, we flew out to North Carolina for the LBS finals. It was actually a lot better than our last trip on a plane, but that was because this time I had control over the booking and the planning and everything, so it all went pretty smooth. What is that? Misplaced Cajun. So I'm working on a sword that I started 2 years ago. When I started it, it was kind of on a whim, and I bit off more than I could chew at that time. So now I'm going to redo it, or fix it, as it were. And then I've got a couple pieces of material that I'm going to prep out that will be hammers later, and I'm going to make a integral bolster chef's knife. Alright, so I got some more round 4140. What I'm going to do is square this stuff up. All I'm going to do with it right now, because I want to mark where I'm going to punch them. thanks for the fire. Dennis, thank you. Jacob, yeah, so the Marine Corps has two swords. They have the NCO sword and the officer sword. And I would definitely make the NCO sword. The officer sword looks cool, but I think it gets more attention. And I was an NCO, so I'm gonna make an NCO sword eventually. I've got a long list of projects that I want to make, and that's on there, but I don't know when I'm gonna get to it. The next big project is going to be a cutlass. I've already got the steel for the blade. It is a ball bearing canister Damascus. So hopefully it'll be kind of cool. And I've got some really neat ideas for the guard. All right. Now I know this looks really dark. Actually, maybe it doesn't look as dark on the camera as normal. Usually it looks way darker than it really is. All right, let's take a look at how we're doing on the... Oh, nice, Scuba. See how I'm doing on the thickness and everything. Okay. Raw fish, thank you. You know, misplaced Cajun, honestly, I would have to go with threaded. And part of that's because I saw a couple peen pommels not hold up so well recently at the last blade standing competition. They can be done really well and be solid. The benefit of doing threaded pommel is you can take the blade apart. Personally, I prefer threaded, but that is a personal preference. I mean, there's some amazing bladesmiths and swordsmiths out there that always peen their pommels. So it's kind of 6 of one, half dozen of the other in certain aspects. All right. Hey, not a problem. That's what I'm here for. All right, I'm going to change out the dies on the press. I just rebuilt this part of the press because it actually had a piece of hardened steel up in the brass bushing area. It was doing all sorts of damage. So I finally got it taken apart, fixed, and man, it moves a lot better. Go figure. Now we'll do the other side of the sword bevel. Yeah, we're going to be moving around quite a bit. I got a lot going on. I keep forgetting to take my gloves off. Gonna be a beast. All right, let's go square up that piece of steel real quick. Alright, back to the power hammer. Oh, I didn't turn the camera far enough. Ah, I'm sorry. I get in the zone. I get in the zone and I forget to look and check on where the camera's pointed. So I apologize for that. Grab this sword again. All right, we're up to 1,000 likes. Keep them coming, everybody. We were at like 200 people in here, and now we're at 20. Alright, now go to the anvil. That should work. Go ahead and hold the tang a little better. Now I'm just trying to even up the bevel edge right now. Trying to decide what I'm going to use. So it's kind of an interesting project because I'm just trying to fix what I did 2 years ago. So, but you'll get there. All right, hey, if any of you are just coming in, Right now I'm working on that big sword. I'm also prepping out some steel that's going to be some hammers. And then once I'm done with the sword, I'm gonna forge out at least one chef's knife, integral bolster chef's knife out of a piece of 1-inch round 1085 Japanese cutlery steel. Power hammer. And I'm trying to also clean up the profile a bit so it's a little easier when I go back to the grinder on it. Oh, Misha, you're right. Over here. Yeah, so this is going to be a really big two-handed sword. Stoked. a lot of work. Girl. Okay. Thank you. All right, hey, anybody who's just coming in, see I'm working on this big sword. It's one I actually started 2 years back. I didn't have the right equipment to do it. I didn't have the right skill set to do it. Now I think I do. So, redoing it. I'm also prepping out some steel for some hammers, and once I'm done with the sword, I'm going to switch over and make a chef's knife. Possibly something else. We'll see. We'll see how much time I have. How we looking here? All right, hey everybody, thanks for watching. I'm Brock, that's Mishka. So we do lives typically every Monday about this time. I actually got started a little early today. But yeah, this is what I do. I'm a professional bladesmith, full-time. So when I go live, it's not always forging, typically is. But just working on knives, working on swords, all sorts of stuff. So if you enjoy that, hit the follow button. Also, give me some likes. It all helps the good old algorithm. Just checking my edge thickness here. Trying to make sure it's nice and uniform. It's getting there. The more uniform that edge is, the easier it's going to be for me to grind in the bevels and clean everything up. So the more work I put into this phase, the less I'll have to put in down the road. So I've just got a little area I'm going to clean up. Then I'm going to flip the blade back around. I'm going to thin out the bevel a little bit more on the back side, and we're going to draw out that tang a little bit further too. Yeah, this thing's going to be a monster. I'm stoked. A little bit more on that side. Yeah, one more time. One more heat on that end, then we'll flip it over. We're actually not far off on this for the forging part. I think next week I'm going to start forging that cutlass. I already have the billet of steel. And I think it's going to be kind of neat. So if you see this elongated pattern in here, those are ball bearings. And they're 52-100 ball bearings. The powdered steel I used was high nickel. So it should have a pretty cool look when it's done. Hopefully. So we're going to flip it. All right. Yeah, it's a bug in the back. That's actually my daughter's car. We helped her, well, she paid for it. She's been saving for a long time, but she's 14. And so her and I are getting it ready for when she gets her driver's license. Now, it's a 72. I have a 69 that I'm doing a motor swap in right now. Yeah. I have a rat rod I'm selling. Well, just go, if you go to my profile, I have a link tree, and it's got my Facebook, Instagram, and all that. You can find me on Facebook when you message through there. TikTok sucks with Messenger. I don't know why they have it set up the way they do. A little bit more. So this is 68-pound Yang power hammer, and what they're talking about, the poundage is the force is equal to swing a 60-pound sledgehammer, I guess. I think that's what it is. Somebody may correct me on that. I use this, but I use my coal iron press a lot more because it doesn't move as fast. I can be a little bit more accurate with it. This is a 16-ton press. I really love it, though I wish I had got their 25-ton. Just all right. I'm going to square off that last piece of 4140 steel. Hot, hot, hot. done. So the power hammer like this delivered is, I think it's like 10 or 11 grand. That's delivered though. Oh no, what? Yeah, and one of the big reasons I have all this equipment is I'm a disabled vet. My back, my shoulders, and everything will not handle a full day of swinging a hammer because it'll destroy me over time. So, oh come on, 308. What? Oh no, what? Right there. And a master bladesmith. Which one? There's tons of master bladesmiths. Hey, how you doing? Oh, Forging Fire, yeah. So I was just in a competition, last blade standing, and David Baker, he's the head judge there, was one of our judges doing the testing of the swords we did. All right, man, have a good one. Thanks for stopping in. put another lid on my kiln. When I have a spare, I'm going to drill a hole in so the tang can come out. So this will get a proper kiln heat treat and temper. I use this Genken Excalibur vertical air bath. I was using my Paragon, that's what it is, my Paragon forever. I like the Genken a little bit more. My Paragon's great, but I decided I'd put it up for sale. So if anybody's interested in a really nice deep kiln Paragon, let me know. Oh, actually, done here for now. Over the anvil. Yeah. Yes. Why are you extra needy today, huh? Yeah, she is. No, it's a little ways from ready to quench. This isn't Fortune Fire. I'm not trying to do it in a day. No, I've got to get it all straightened out. I'm going to clean up the profile on the grinder. I will start the bevels on the grinder as well, because once it's hardened, it takes longer. So, and you use more belts. May have to open up the back of the forge for this. Let's see. So I'm going to just work on getting it straightened real quick. I'm not going to do any planching. I don't think I'm going to clean up the bevels. I don't know. I might clean up the bevels. Yeah, so this is a sword I actually forged out 2 years ago. And I forged it way too thick. And at the time, it was going to be my first sword, and it just never went anywhere. And so now I'm finishing it. It's been bugging me. It's been hanging on a magnet on the wall for 2 years now, so I've been Yeah, I think about 2 years, maybe a little more. You guys see that? Got my hand a little close. It's the only problem with these pass-through tongs. Mmm, steak. Spicy, yeah. So from here forward is straight. Move back, not so much. I don't know if this will go in far enough. Maybe. No, it's not Damascus. This is actually just 1084. The next sword I'm doing, man, that's bugging me. Grab a piece of ice. Where's snow? I've got it outside. All right, so the next sword I'm going to do is going to be a cutlass out of a billet I've already made. It's ball bearing Damascus. I think they were 1/4 inch ball bearings. Maybe smaller, I can't remember. And then after that, I need to make a family sword. My wife has been bugging me about it. I have the design in my head, but personal stuff is always on the back burner. Yeah. Well, and that's part of the reason things cost so much. You know, I have people that'll scoff at my prices, and it's like, well, one, it's American made. So you live in America, you know what kind of bills we got to pay. And you know, things are expensive here. I only use known steel, so everything is bought brand new. It's never been heat treated. I use high quality stuff. I get most of my steel from either Pops Knives or New Jersey Steel Baron. And, you know, just handle material. Average handle material cost for a set of scales, $40. So, you know, when I have people tell me, oh, I don't want to spend more than $60. Sorry, I can't even pay for the materials at that cost. So it's one of those things that a lot of people don't fully understand or appreciate because they're used to going to Amazon and seeing a cheap Chinese piece of junk knife for $20. Hey, Simplify. Get the right tong. board scale popped up and got stuck in my hand. Got to love it. Close. Very close. I might be able to get it done this next heat. Yeah, prices have gone up across the board. It sucks, you know. The average American hasn't seen a significant pay raise in years. You know, I mean, I know when I went full time here, I was upset at my employer because I promised them that I wouldn't ask. They didn't need to give me a pay raise through COVID. So I went 2 years without a pay raise because I knew everything was tight and I was trying to help everybody out. And then came to them and said, hey, okay, can we do this? Just this year alone, inflation was up like 9%, and they gave me, it was an insult. It was a decent raise if you got a raise every year or something like that, you know? But for how long I had been there and what I did and what I sacrificed for them, it was pretty insulting. It was like 5 or 6% raise, and it was supposed to be like 15, 20%. That's not why I left, but it was definitely one of the reasons. But we see that all the time, and then you've got corporations, record profits the past few years. It's insane. Whoa! I'll worry about that. Yeah, I might as well. All right. Braveheart, yeah. Yeah, the cost of living is insane. Now, I will say I saw a thing that our inflation rates actually has slowed and gone down, or maybe not gone down, but slowed down more than a lot of the other big European countries, including Canada and such. So that's good news for us. Man, that really. Hey, man, how you doing? Yeah. Well, and then that's the other thing. You know, we've got less people in the workforce than we did before COVID because a lot of the boomers retired. And some of them are coming back to the workforce because their retirement is not good enough and Social Security isn't good enough for them to live on, and they didn't realize that before. Which sucks, it's sad. And I saw a thing that they want to raise the retirement age for millennials and Gen Z to like 70 something because, and this is their reasoning, because their expected lifespan is going to be 90 to 100 years old. So I saw a thing, a politician saying, well, we shouldn't have them retire at 62. You know, we need that workforce. I don't know. I hate that we are in this hamster wheel. All right, that bit's done. Hey, Texas. All right, so now I'm going to throw a piece of that 1085 Japanese cutlery steel bar stock in. Hot. Not crazy, but warm. All right, there we go. All right, have a good one. Yep, agreed. Appreciate it. I did a good job on this, man. My hand is like aching right there. Put those out. Alright, that way they actually cool. And don't just suck all the heat out off of the side of the forge there. I want to see how long this sword is. It got crazy. Cutting edge is going to be 36 inches. Overall, it's at 50 and a half right now. 36-inch cutting edge on that. That's going to be fun. Up. Good drill. It's almost ready. I should have probably thrown it in a minute ago. All right, we are going to use the power hammer again. What a good girl. What? Here, we'll get a treat. All right, still not ready yet. It's getting there very quickly. I just turned up the gas. 2030 degrees right now. It's climbing a little too much. I'm not going to adjust it. You gotta move these shots. Sorry, girl. All right, so when I was at the LBS finals, it came up several times about using 1, 2, 3 blocks. And half the dudes there had never heard of a 1, 2, 3 block. So I came home and I was messing around and I found they make 2, 4, 6 blocks. I'm stoked. So I got one set up here for when I'm doing my hidden tangs. That way I can set the knife on top. Use my height gauge to run down the side of the handle material so I know where center line is. And then I took the other one. I just got done putting a bunch of upgrades on this old drill press. Keyless chuck, depth gauge, and they even have a laser now. Fancy. But I put that other block here. I want to just drill right into that. I'm happy. I haven't even used it all yet. All right. First things first, we're going to get the tip. Put you guys on this other side. Okay. Now we're going to start drawing out how much we need. So I really enjoy doing these integral bolster chef's knives, and I'm trying to perfect it. It's a fun technique. So here's one that's profiled and heat treated. I did a couple weeks ago. It's got a nice distal taper to it, but I really like the way these turn out. Right on. So this week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I have a convention I'm doing, or I'm going to. I have a booth at. It's an outdoors event. I'm stoked, but it's going to be the longest. It's my first real show that I've done, and it's going to be grueling because it's going to just be me Thursday, Friday, and probably most of Saturday, Sunday. Not looking forward to that part. All right, for everybody that has come in recently, my name's Brock. I'm the owner and bladesmith of Woodson Knife Co. Right now I'm working on integral bolster chef's knife. Made out of 1085 Japanese cutlery steel that I get from Pop's Knife Supply. And Yeah, so right now I've got it drawn out. I've isolated where the bolster is going to be, and I've got it widened as well. And it's almost even on both sides of where the rod is, so I need to push it down so I've got a nice transition for the spine. Let's go. Hey, welcome back. All right. So I set those pieces of 4140 out there because I have them really close to the forge and they'll soak up some heat from that. And every once in a while I can see a raindrop hit them and a little puff of steam comes off. So, yeah. Nice. Well, right now I am forging out a chef's knife. Integral bolster chef's knife. Almost ready. It completely depends on the knife. I mean, some knives I can get done in, I don't know, 20, 30 hours maybe, and others, sky's the limit. It depends on the complexity, the design. It depends on so many different things. And I don't time myself to make a knife because I'm going for quality, not speed. Now we thinned up the spine quite a bit to about where I want it. Now we're going to go back to the anvil, shove it all that way. And again, if you guys have any questions at all, or I say a term that you're not sure what it is, ask the question in the comments. I will answer. Oh yeah, and I hate doing mirror finishes. Way too much hand sanding. That's the nice thing about doing Damascus, not near as much hand sanding. Sorry about what there, Jacob? Maybe. All right. So what I'm aiming for when I'm doing this is to hit both where the bolster is and the back, the spine of the actual blade. That way it's going to keep it straighter. All right. So, we've got our spine at the thickness I want. Maybe. Actually, I'm going to clean up the tip a little bit. I think I need to do a little better on the distal taper. But after that, you can see how this is curved, right? This is going to be the edge. When we do the bevels and we start drawing steel this way, it's going to curve back. Now, Jacob, you're good. No, and that was kind of aimed at you a little bit. As a joke, man, as a joke. Yeah, hand sanding isn't any fun, but it's one of those things that you just can't get away from. You're going to do it no matter what. Forged in Fire is a game show. at its core, it is a game show, 100%. The stuff that they do on the show that makes absolutely no sense for knife making. There's stuff that they do on the show that is 100% just to hype up the audience. And they leave out a lot of the stuff that really goes into knife making. So watching the show, it's really fun to watch. It's very interesting to watch. But you're not going to learn much from watching Forge and Fire. You might learn basic terms, but that's not where you want to learn the skills. Because a lot of the stuff that you need to know is actually edited out because it takes too long. But yeah, you know, and the judges on there are good people, and you know, I know a lot of people that have been on Forge and Fire, and it's a good experience and it's fun, but like I said, at its core, it's a game show. It does not show how knife making really is. So that's my 2 cents on it. Yeah, power hammer. Keep grabbing snow for my hand. I think it's just right across a really sensitive part, because I've burned myself way worse than that and it doesn't hurt this bad usually. Plus, I'm pretty used to getting burned. Man, this one, now we're going to clean up the profile a little bit on the anvil, and then we'll go back over, pull down that heel. I'm going to try to pull it under as far as I can. I don't think there's as much meat there as I would like, but I'll at least be able to pull it straight down. And yeah, and then we'll start on pulling the bevels down, which will pull that edge back up, or the spine back up. Yep. So, already hardened. Well, both of them are already hardened. But, yeah. Yeah, I did that, did the heat treat and everything last week. I was only home for 2 days, so it was just a get started on as many projects as I can, just get them past that starting point, and that was one of them. Spokane, Washington. That's where I'm at right now too. So I'm on Eastern Washington. We are the higher, colder side of the state. Not necessarily dry, but we are definitely drier. But we got a lot of snow. Not fun. All right, so I'm just cleaning up that spine, making it nice and even. It's going to be a lot harder to do that once I taper the bevels. What part of the UK? Okay, so we've got that profile pretty well. The next step is going to start drawing down those bevels, making them taper, right? When we do that, that spine is going to come up. So it's not going to tip down anymore. Oh, right on. Mishka, you are just in the way today, aren't you? Yeah. Sit down, please. Thank you. Almost ready. Almost. Wrong, it is ready. Flat surface on a forged knife, easy. Planishing is the biggest thing. And all planishing is making steel smooth using a hammer. Now, I've got lots of different kinds of hammers. Ooh, I need to face that. That's bad. So that works. The other thing, grinder, 2x72 grinder. So, and typically, unless you're doing forged bevels, forged all the way down, you're going to hit the grinder with your bevels. Or you're going to hit your bevels with the grinder. There's a heel. Still plenty of meat on it too. Okay, everybody that's just coming in the past 20 minutes or so, my name's Brock. I'm the owner of Bladesmith at Woodson Knife Co. This is my Monday Live. I go live most Mondays in the mornings. If you are interested in seeing my work, seeing what I have available, go to the link in my bio. Go to the website, woodsonKnifeCo.com. If you're interested in custom order, which is most of my business, shoot me a message through the website. Tell me what you want. Give me some details. I do actually have a order form on the website as well. So, also, if you don't already follow me, hit that follow button. I guess it's over here because everything's flipped backwards. Hit the follow button. Also, let's see if we can get to like 3,000 likes. That would be awesome. All right, so now that steel is all thinned out, it's not going to take hardly any time at all to heat up. So real quick, we'll be at the anvil. I'm going to try to clamp that profile a little bit, smooth things out. That tip didn't come up as much as I want, so I'll fix that then. We'll see. There's that sword. And the handle won't be quite this long. wide enough length that I can thread it and I have room for the pommel and everything. Guard. I'm gonna need a big pommel. Thickness is a lot better. So the next step will be profiling it. Now this is just 80 CRV, or no, 1084 I think. Or was it 80 CRV2? I gotta see if I got my notes. I can't remember if it was 80 or it was 1084. I remember. This one I started forging out 2 years ago and wasn't ready for something like this. So now I'm finishing it, redoing it also. So sometimes I will have some of this stuff, forge scale, pop off and it'll land on me and it sticks. If it hits skin and it's still hot, it sticks. Like I had one hit me just a second ago. Nice, Steve. Nice, Jacob. What's that, Jacob? Hey, thanks for the gifts. I appreciate them. We're getting a better shape. Yeah, not a problem. I am, what's that? Family something. All right, so I'm in Spokane, Washington. That's the east side of Washington State, opposite of Seattle. All right, it's set. Now they're just profiled and heat treated. I haven't surfaced them or done anything else, but so I made the paring knife match as much as I dare to this. So, and the paring knife's nice and thin. This blade will be thinner. It'll have a distal taper as well, but so, scuba seed, no. So what I'll do is, whether it's force to shape or it's stock removal, profile it, get the shape you want. You can do the bevels, you can start the bevels, but you want to keep that edge decently thick. I've heard a lot of people say 0.02 to 0.04 thickness at the edge. That way it doesn't go all bacony on you when you do the heat treat. Do the heat treat after that, after you get your initial bevels done, or just leave it flat. You can always grind the bevels in afterwards. Do your heat treat, your temper, then do your grinding work. Make sure the blade doesn't get too hot. So pass on the grinder, put in the water. Pass on the grinder, put in the water. And don't go too slow, because if you start seeing blue and the steel starts changing colors, you've hurt your heat treat. It may not be destroyed, but you've probably softened it a little more. So yeah, heat treat, temper once, do all your grinding, finishing work, go from there. Preliminary grinding method, grab one. So here is a custom chef's knife I'm working on. It started pretty thick. I should have made this billet thinner, but I've done the initial grinds on it. The edge, you can still see, is flat, and I've still got a decent amount of meat right there. all doing this does saves me a little bit of time at the end. All right, so right now what I'm doing is I'm starting the planishing process. Planishing is just making steel smooth using a hammer. I don't need as much heat. We can actually get really close to black heat and it's still fine. We're not hitting really hard. I'm basically just letting it drop from a couple inches, not way up here. And I may bring it up higher, but I'm still not doing a lot of force with the hammer. We also don't need as much heat. And you see I'm just hitting it right in the middle, and I'm moving the blade, not the hammer. All right, so this is bugging me with the hammer. I got most of it out. Do a better job later. I need to actually just do that to all my hammers and reface them. I have a project though. Taking off the scale. Oh, Scuba Steve. Yeah, make sure you get yourself good belts. I get all mine from Broadbeck. I've gotten them from about everybody, but I like Broadbeck the best. I just like them as a company too. And no, I'm not sponsored. I wish. Belts are cheap. Don't try to make a belt last longer than it should. And don't push. Steady pressure. You start leaning into it, that's when you start getting mistakes. No, a weld is not a temper at all. Weld is a process of putting the steels together and bonding them at the molecular level. So they essentially become one piece of steel. That's why in some of my patterns that I do, my layered steel, I'll have a layer of Damascus in there. I count it as one layer because it's all one piece of steel. Now, I can etch it. You can see the different kinds of steel in there, but it's technically just one. Really? Man, that's a lot of work. Yeah, I've got surface conditioning belts. I really thought I was going to use them a lot more than I do. They work really well. I just don't always like the finish I get. And you still have to sand quite a bit. You need to go up to like at least 220, 400 grit, and then you can use the surface conditioning belts. At least that's my experience. But I have them, I use them, I do like them. I just had thought I was going to use them more than I actually do. I got glasses on. Okay, that part's done. Next, we need to isolate. Actually, we're going to do a hot cut, take it off. Yesterday, I isolated the tang and then hot cut. It made it a little easier, but I don't feel like changing out the dies in the press. I'm being lazy. No worries. You know, I'm happy to answer any questions. You know, I don't keep secrets. It actually bothers me a lot when bladesmiths will not tell people, you know, how they do things, because there's nothing new about this. Nobody's going to figure out anything new about this craft unless you figure out how to forge weld titanium to 10A5 or 10A4, I mean, you know, you're not figuring out anything new. So it bothers me that people hoard knowledge and give the answers, do your research, or I had to figure it out, you should have to figure it out. That's stupid. Asking people for information is research. If you don't want to teach, that's fine. But just say that. Just say, hey, I don't like teaching. I don't like giving out my information. The whole using and figure it out for yourself is just, it's a jerk move in my opinion. So, that being said, I really pride myself on trying to teach people and people being able to come to me and ask questions. $60 and wire wheel? I've never heard of that. I don't know the wire wheel is going to do anything at 60 grit. Gatekeepers, yes. Gatekeepers. It's also a great roller derby team. I used to play men's roller derby, and they're a roller derby team. Not quite. All right, so hot cut. Put it this way, it's fine. Hey, how you doing? Welcome. Well, you know, and it's just like it's taken us forever to try and figure out, you know, original Damascus. I mean, up until the past few years, everybody thought that what we know as Damascus originated in Damascus, Syria, which it didn't. It didn't. They're actually thinking it was more India. Maybe even the Vikings may have Norse. But it didn't originate in Damascus, Syria. What they were known for was their Wootz steel, which was used in Damascus. But Wootz is not a layered steel. It's melted. It's a crucible steel. So, yeah, it's interesting. There's Blade Magazine did an article on it the beginning of last year. And I've seen a bunch of other articles since then. Usually I do that in one piece, but all right, we're still at 1.1500 likes, sorry. We're still at 1,500 likes. Do me a favor, hit that like button. If you're on your phone, just tap on the screen. More times you do it, the more likes I get, which means the more people see my live on their For You page, which in turn helps me grow. Should be enough. Hopefully. What I meant to do. Sorry about that. Yes. It's just snow. Silly dog. We go over to the press. Yeah, no, I went off on some people because they made an announcement and people were over there with their kids. And what really got me is I watched a kid, and I'm not talking a little kid, he was an early teen, pick up a sword, look at it, and drop it from about 6 or 8 inches onto 2 other swords, just guard down, and then pick up another one. And there was a guy across the table at the same time, looked at a sword and put it down across 3 other swords sideways. And there was absolutely no respect for people's work. And I know a couple guys got decent scratches on their swords from that, which sucks. So, and I don't like being a jerk. I don't like getting upset at people, but sometimes somebody's got to do it. I will say, I did chew out one of the band members who, in his defense, wasn't there for all of that and came in just at the wrong time because he went straight to the table, didn't see the sign because he was on the opposite side, and picked up a sword. And it happened to be my sword, which I would have been more mad if it was someone else's. But I went off on him, and he came and talked to me later, and we're good. But it was not something I was happy about, the way that was handled. So I'm hoping next year will be different. Although, I don't know if I'll get invited next year. Who knows? Yeah. Well, and this Doc does Last Blade Standing primarily on his own, and that's rough. So, you know, there's inevitably going to be issues and things that aren't thought of, and it's just how it is. Hopefully he gets some more help. It would be really great if he could get somebody that could run the social media for him. Let's see if we can get a little. Actually, no, I don't think we're ready for the power hammer. We can get a little more isolation done. Yes, I'm doing this the not the quickest way. I could put my combo dies into this a lot quicker, but by the time I change out the dies, it'll be about the same amount of time. I was just being lazy, but I guess I should probably have changed them out. We'll make it easier. All right. You know, one other thing I should mention to everybody is if you are interested in getting into knife making, being a bladesmith, there's a difference. I don't really care about the difference, but some people do. But I digress. Check out my Patreon. I think I linked it in the bio, in the link tree on my main TikTok page. Also, make sure you're subscribed. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. If you go to the Patreon and you really want to get some in-depth videos on how I do everything step by step, consider becoming a patron and following me. So if you go to Patreon and just type in Woodson Knife Co., you'll find me. So currently, my Patreon videos, I am building a 1,000 layer Damascus sacks. I've already got videos 1 and 2 up, right? Yeah, videos 1 and 2 are up. I'm working on 3, 4, and 5. So yeah. If you do go and check that out, just know that not only are you getting, the information, but you're also helping support me. Also, Patreon members get access to a lot of things. They get first access to knife drops, the videos, of course, and a few other perks. Anybody have any questions or anything you want me to go over right now? The chat's been really quiet. Oh, hey, we're up to 2,200 likes. Nice. Keep them coming. I appreciate that, guys. This is going to start going a little quicker now that it's getting thinner. So with these knives, what I've been doing, actually I'll just grab one for example. What I've been doing is just putting a loop on them, which is fine. It just takes a little bit extra time. I think I'm going to just smash it and drill it because I can do the right size drill bit to fit the hole. The rod will go through for them to hang. So I'm not going to do a curly tail on this one. I'm going to try a different way. right, so the tang is not aligned properly. It's actually twisted compared to the blade and the bolster. What we're going to do, put the tang in here, grip the bolster, and twist it a little bit. However, we got to get it nice and hot. So a lot of you have probably seen the sword I'm working on. That it's essentially done. I've got to finish. I'm not satisfied with the cutting edge yet. It's the only reason it's not done. And I'm building something. So it's going to get cut off right about here. A little platform. Set some stuff on it. So I ordered another ballistics dummy bust. Here's what's left of my last one. So the last one, I didn't have a real stable base, and so it just kept falling over. So I really want to make sure it's stable this time, because we're going for decapitation all the way. All right, let's get this thing ready. Actually, we're going to do this a little different. I'm going to go over to the leg vise. That's what I usually do. Okay, tang's going to go in. Come down like this on top of the blade itself as close as I can to the bolster, and then twist. Go. Center here, I'm going to make sure that's aligned. Okay. All right, so I'm going to be coming right back over here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to straighten out the spine, straighten out the edge first. Make sure everything's nice and aligned, and then we're done forging. At least that's the That's the plan. We'll see if it only takes once. Now once it's in, I let go with the tongs. Otherwise you risk putting a good bend in everything. Now this works really well because the jaws taper. So coming up, you're going into the bevel. Go this way. So unfortunately, we're still crooked with the blade to the tang, just a little bit. I'm going to try to fix that. Oh, I see why. Okay. Man, down to 17 people. This must have got boring. Let's see here. Yeah, still 2,200 likes. Keep those coming. I appreciate it. Definitely not happening in one heat. But we're close. Forge and Fire TV show. I like it. It's a game show. There's a lot of stuff that are far from realistic on the show, but it's still entertaining. Little bit. Oh yeah, big time. It's real. You know, they're really making those blades and swords, and they're really doing the testing. It's just it's done in a way that's more entertaining than it usually is, because the way they do stuff and the time parameters and stuff like that, no bladesmith's going to really do that in real life. That's just for the competition. And they use weird materials. They do stuff in the show to make it interesting, because a lot of people aren't going to sit and watch somebody forge for hours like this. Some people will. Some people appreciate it, but most people won't. But the show is entertaining. And there's a lot of good people involved in it. I may already have. But I did just get done with Last Blade Standing. It's on YouTube, here on TikTok and such. Finals were 3 weekends ago now. So that was a great time. So if somebody is on the show and it hasn't aired, they can't talk about it. If somebody was potentially on the show, they can't talk about it until it's aired. Go do something over here. I don't know if this is going to work the way I want to, but we're going to try it anyways. Nope. That's all right. Go do it the normal way. Yeah, so if shows like that, if you're on the show, you have to sign contracts and stuff saying that you're not going to talk about it. You're not going to, talk about how the show's produced and everything like that. And that's why I'm saying I won't confirm nor deny my involvement. No, the blade's not hard. I'm still got it in there. The blade will get hardened after I profile it. And what I mean by that is here's a blade that I finished forging yesterday, in rough. Here's one that's been profiled and heat treated. So what I do is I grind the shape to weigh exactly what I want, and then heat treat. Back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, I wasn't happy with the way everything lined up on it, so that's why we're still going. I can't help it, I'm a perfectionist. Boy, sweaty. Oh. Nice and straight. Distal tapers forged in. Nice German style chef sign. All right, I'm gonna hang it. I did some hand hammering, and I did some on the press, and some on my power hammer. Now, know that hand hammering adds nothing to a blade. Nothing. Absolutely nothing over using machines. And I've had a lot of people that will be like, oh, you know, you're not really honoring the craft because you're using power tools. I guarantee you every bladesmith in history would be drooling at the tools we have nowadays and would rather use those than hand hammering. But my big reason is I'm a disabled veteran. I can't hammer all day. And I also work with a lot of big stuff. Take way too long. So that's my thing. I'm doing good. How are you? All right, so got quite a bit done. I'm gonna grab that sword again. This thing is pretty massive. Oh, I can't even get in the camera. There we go. So 36-inch cutting edge as of right now. Still needs to be heat treated, tempered. And of course, grain shape. So this sword was one I started 2 years ago. And when I started it was going to be my first sword. I wasn't really sure what I was doing and forged it way too thick. And then when I started grinding it, I realized it was going to take me days and days to grind it. So there it sat for 2 years. And now we've got forged thinner to where I want. Next step, I'm going to profile it, make it a nice even, make sure I don't have any big issues here. I may clean up the fuller a little bit. It's not too thin. And then I'll get heat treated. And that's going to be onto the guard handle and all that stuff. But I'm stoked. This will be a big sword. This will be the biggest sword I've done to date. So yeah. But all right, everybody. So that's it for right now. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. Charles, good to hear. A lathe is going to spin material. It's not, you can use a lathe for making like the pommels, some handle pieces and stuff like that. But typically, I have seen some daggers that are done on lathes, but they're just milling down a rod to a point and then grinding edges on it. It looks really cool, I'm not going to lie, but and I don't have a lathe, or else I'd probably try one of those, because why not? But yeah, so what I use is this right here. This is a 2x72 grinder. So 2-inch wide belt, 72 inches long. This is a Broadbeck. I really like it, but that's what I use to do my profiling. So I'll come in here with a good 36 grit, flatten it all out. You can see where the light is. So it's uneven. Oh, maybe you can't. Let me turn this. Now you can see. So it's not a perfectly flat surface. So on the edge. So I'll clean that up, get it nice and flat. I might clean up the bevels a little bit. Got to make sure, tang is a little crooked. That's okay. We can fix that later. So probably get ground down quite a bit. But anyways, all right, everybody. So that's what I got. If you don't have any more questions for me, I'm going to get out of here and take a little break, because it is noon. I think you're talking a mill, and I've seen mills used for doing bevels, but one, I don't have one that's big enough. Two, there's a lot more to it than that. But it is one way that I've seen guys do. They do them with CNCs, but the way I do it on the grinders, the way most, I would say 99% of knife makers and bladesmiths do it this way. Maybe not quite that much, but that's my thought. So, all right, everybody. Hey, thanks for watching. I should be back on next week. Yes, I'll be here next week. I got a really long weekend. I've got a 4-day event that I've got a booth at, and yeah, it's going to be grueling. So that's fun. But as always, be kind, much love. Have a great week.